Isn't there something special about tasting the brew I prepared just for you, darling? My spouse, Michael, inquired with a grin that seemed forced and didn't light up his gaze. I was perched at the breakfast nook in my brother-in-law's wife's lavish home in Atlanta, where our clan met for regular weekend get-togethers. The mug before me emitted an unusual, almost chemical odor that twisted my gut. I'm Elena, and at 31, I never thought I'd doubt if my own partner was attempting to harm me with toxins. Yet after 4 years wed and numerous episodes of mysterious illnesses, I'd grown wary, particularly near Sophia. She had a knack for setting up scenarios that left me unwell or embarrassed, always hiding behind that feigned warmth Michael displayed now. How kind, I responded, mustering a grin as my thoughts spun. The scent rising from the mug was nothing like regular Java. It evoked the episode a few weeks back when I landed in the ER after sipping herbal tea at Sophia's place. The physicians couldn't pinpoint the cause, and she'd sworn she'd prepared it identically to her own. Sophia observed me closely from the opposite side, idly swirling her own untouched beverage. Michael's turned into a real coffee expert these days, she remarked with a sly curl of her lips. He's been experimenting with various techniques, especially for your taste. The stress she placed on "for your taste" sent a shiver through me. I'd observed Michael lingering more at Sophia's residence recently, saying they were organizing a treat for our anniversary approaching soon, but it all seemed suspicious. The hushed talks that ceased upon my arrival, the odd messages I'd spotted on his device, and now this drink with its bizarre aroma. I raised the mug, feigning a drink while scanning their faces. Michael and Sophia shared a fleeting look that solidified my doubts. Pretending to glance at my device, I rose suddenly. Oh, look at the time. I have to handle a brief work matter. Sophia, may I borrow your office? As I passed her spot, I intentionally tripped, swiftly exchanging our mugs amid the brief disorder while regaining my balance. So clumsy of me. I apologized, composing myself. I'm always knocking things over. Sophia dismissed it with a strained expression. Just be careful not to damage anything in there. I agreed and dashed off, my pulse racing. From the office threshold, I could still view them at the table. Now, it was a matter of observing and waiting. Peering from the doorway, I saw Sophia bring the mug to her mouth, and my insides tightened with tension. A part of me considered halting her, alerting her, but I craved the facts. I'd endured too many visits to urgent care, too many moments hunched in agony, invariably after dining with them. Things hadn't always been this way. When I first encountered Michael at a colleague's event in Atlanta 4 years prior, he was charismatic and caring. Sophia appeared hospitable as well, welcoming me to family events and assisting with our nuptials. But in hindsight, the warnings were there, her accidental spills on my outfits during key occasions, or how my dishes always got extra spices when she assisted in the kitchen. The troubles began minor, an indigestion episode, a slight rash, but Michael always had a justification. Perhaps it was from lunch earlier, or you're catching a bug. The worst came 3 months ago, when I was admitted after a meal at their home. The medics detected odd elements in my bloodstream they couldn't classify, but Michael persuaded all it was outdated pills I'd ingested. I clutched the doorframe, noting a faint shake in Sophia's grip. She placed the mug down, her complexion turning ashen. Michael, she uttered, her tone unsteady. This feels off. Michael glanced up, his look shifting from bewilderment to dread as he grasped which mug she'd chosen. He leapt up, toppling his seat. Sophia, what's going on? Her hands quivered fiercely now. I can't. I sense. She attempted to rise but faltered, clutching the table's rim for stability. Michael, what was in that brew? I emerged from the office, my device already capturing the scene. Michael hovered near Sophia, his features drained. That wasn't intended for you, he murmured, but in the quiet space, his voice resonated. Sophia's gaze expanded with shock and terror. Get help, she wheezed, collapsing to the ground. Please, I can't breathe right. I phoned emergency services right away. My grip firm despite the turmoil. Sophia lay on the floor, her frame convulsing. Michael crouched by her, alarm etched on his face as their scheme unraveled disastrously. Emergency line, yes. Send help to 728 Oakwood Lane. My brother's wife seems to be reacting badly to something in her drink. She's alert, but shaking badly. As I relayed details to the operator, Sophia's stare met mine. The typical sharp cunning in her eyes gave way to pure panic. Elena, she rasped, you swapped. You suspected. Ma'am, help is en route, the operator confirmed. Stay connected. Michael grew increasingly agitated. Sophia, this wasn't supposed to. It wasn't aimed at. Quiet, Michael, Sophia hissed through clenched jaws, her fury briefly overriding her pain. This is your mess. You claimed it'd only make her ill enough to skip the investor pitch next week. You swore it couldn't be linked. My veins iced over. The investor pitch where I'd pitch my idea for a huge deal, the very one Sophia had chased for weeks at our rival agencies. It all aligned. The tea last month, I stated evenly, and the meal mishap 3 months back. Those weren't mishap, right? Sophia's features twisted in fresh anguish. The tea was meant to sideline you for the Thompson deal pitch, but you pushed through. She gripped her abdomen, curling up. Michael claimed we had to undermine you, make partners view you as flaky. Sirens wailed nearby. Michael retreated from us both. Sophia, hush. You're not thinking straight. I am thinking straight, Sophia retorted, her speech garbling a bit. We've schemed this for ages. Since Elena began outshining me in every deal, you were to ensure she drank it today. Medics stormed in through the entrance freer, and I moved aside for them. As they hoisted Sophia onto the gurney, I ended the capture and forwarded the clip to my secure account, then to my attorney. Michael stood rigid, witnessing his elaborate plot collapse. I'll accompany her to the medical center, I informed the medics resolutely. After all, I must ensure my relative receives appropriate care. I caught Michael's frightened stare, and I'm certain the physicians will want details on what exactly laced that brew. The ER at Atlanta Memorial buzzed with urgency as staff hurried to aid Sophia. I waited in the lounge, device in hand, replaying the admission clip. The quaver in her tone, the fright in her eyes. It was solid proof this wasn't mere suspicion. Family for Sophia Reynolds, a staff member summoned. I rose, observing Michael's notable absence. He'd muttered about finding parking half an hour earlier and vanished. I'm her in-law, I replied, trailing the staff through the doors. How's her condition? She's steady, but we detected alarming toxin amounts in her. The staff's demeanor was somber. The physician needs to discuss some peculiar blood results with you. Dr. Harlan, a sturdy man with silver streaks and keen vision, stood by Sophia's area. Ms. Vaughn, can you describe what occurred before your relative fell ill? I inhaled deeply, retrieving my device. You should hear this first. I activated the brunch recording, observing the doctor's face morph from routine worry to shock. This is grave, he noted, jotting on his device. The agent we identified isn't typical in beverages. We're dealing with intentional tampering. Just then, Michael emerged at the corridor's end, looking drained and anxious. He'd evidently caught the doctor's statement. Elena, he began, advancing, let me clarify. Keep distance, Dr. Harlan cautioned, hitting the alert. Security to Bay 7. Stat, Michael lifted his palms defensively. It's a mix-up. Sophia was disoriented. She misspoke. Oh? I accessed the messages I'd uncovered on his device days ago. the ones I'd discreetly sent to myself. So these exchanges between you and Sophia about keeping me sidelined for the Whitaker pitch were just casual chat? His color faded. You snooped on my phone? After spotting the odd vial in your workspace? Yes, I faced Dr. Harlan. Doctor, I've been in care 4 times the last 8 months with baffling issues. I'd like checks if they align with Sophia's findings today. The doctor's brow furrowed. We'll compare samples. Security will keep your spouse here for queries. 2 guards materialized, flanking Michael. He appeared cornered, his polished veneer shattering. Sophia and I, he faltered. We aimed to ease your load. You were overdoing it. Grabbing all the prime deals, Sophia suggested if we could force some rest. By dosing me? My tone held firm amid shaking limbs. How long? Was it you who spiked my dish at the holiday gathering, too? Michael's quiet confirmed it. Through the glass, Sophia's space showed her hooked to machines. Her prior arrogance faded, supplanted by dread of repercussions. Detective Larson is arriving, Dr. Harlan murmured. She'll require accounts from all. Detective Larson showed up promptly, her aura drawn focus in the clinical hall. A veteran in family conflict probes, she attended closely as I replayed the brunch audio and displayed the texts. Ms. Vaughn, she reviewed her jots. You noted prior admissions. Elaborate on those? I opened a file on my device I'd meticulously kept for months. First in March, post-supper at Sophia's. I suffered intense cramps and vertigo. Second in May, the tea event, then July after morning eats with them. My delivery stayed composed, symptoms mirrored but varied just enough for medics to miss the source. The detective's gaze sharpened at my thorough record of timelines, effects, and settings. And you've tracked this since spotting the trend? I paused, then withdrew a secondary device from my bag. I also got a spare phone with a fresh line, used it to capture talks around them. I have clips where Sophia and Michael plot, though veiled. In one audio, Sophia's words rang clear. The Whitaker deal's massive. Michael, can't let her wreck our efforts. Follow the scheme. A bit of sickness should suffice. Michael's reply was incriminating. I've sourced potent stuff this round. She'll skip the pitch. Detective Larson's face toughened hearing it. Through Sophia's pain, I saw her roused, far less assured than at brunch. The facility's doing toxin checks. The detective updated. Dr. Harlan pinpointed unnatural agents. We'll search your residences, too. Noise echoed down the passage, Michael clashing with guards, his pitch escalating. I must talk to my wife. Elena, please. You misread. We shielded you. Detective Larson interposed. Mr. Reynolds, you're worsening it. We've proof of deliberate acts. Michael emitted an empty chuckle, resounding the hall. Shielded? We just wanted to curb her pace. She exhausted herself, snagging top accounts. Sophia proposed making her pause. By tainting her? Detective Larson's cut was keen. That's not aid. Mr. Reynolds. That's assault with intent. Color fled Michael's cheeks. Assault? No, we didn't aim to. Then what was the goal with today's brew? I queried calmly. What outcome did you envision? Michael's hush weighed heavy. Behind, Sophia observed via her window, her expression blending terror and scheming. I pondered if she plotted a defense, a twist for months of calculated dosing as warped concern. We'll seize both devices, Detective Larson directed the guards, and station personnel at exits. No one departs till toxin outcomes. Dr. Harlan stepped into Sophia's area with a screen, looked stern as he scanned results. Detective Larson and I trailed, Michael lingering outside with escorts. Sophia strained to straighten in bed, but shakes persisted. The toxin profile reveals high traces of multiple agents, Dr. Harlan declared clinically. Most alarming is a lab compound not for public use. Sophia's hue blanched. Impossible. Michael assured mild effects only. Mild like my past 8 months? Detective Larson interjected, notebook ready. The door swung. Another investigator entering with a proof sack. These from Mr. Reynolds's firm desk at Reynolds Associates. He showed tiny flasks with lab tags, plus dosage and response logs. My legs buckled, grasping the plot's depth. You logged it all like a trial. Not that way, Sophia objected. Voice faltering. We tracked efficacy. Early tries failed. You attended meetings regardless, so you amped the amounts. Detective Larson deduced, eyeing flasks. Aware these could kill at peaks? Quiet, enveloped. Michael. Visible outside. Slumped in a seat. Face buried in palms. The Whitaker deal, I murmured. Fragments aligning. Not solely the pitch. You wanted me gone for good, as the client demanded me leading. Sophia's features warped in rage and dread. You demolished my builds. I nurtured that portfolio years. Then you arrive, and all prefer you. Michael vowed to resolve it. By ending me, the accusation lingered stark. We weren't, Sophia began, but Dr. Harlan halted. Today's brew dose, eyeing Sophia, exceeded prior Bennett samples. If ingested, it had been critical, maybe deadly. Detective Larson addressed her aide, full warrants for homes and workplaces. Trace these flasks, source firm. Sophia sagged into cushions, spirit ebbing. It escalated unintended. She breathed. Michael urged one final push. I neared her bed, voice firm despite inner quake. Each illness, mischance, lost deal. You both observed, noting poison impacts. What monsters are you? Heavy quiet ensued. Outside, Michael's rights were recited as more forces arrived. Detective, I pivoted from my kin. I'm set for my official account. The hearing spanned 4 weeks, yet dragged like eons. Daily in court, I viewed the state dismantle the case versus Michael and Sophia. Proof overwhelmed, office flasks, poisoning logs, captured talks, and messages on schemes. Most striking, their courtroom poise. Sophia, once sleek and bold, shrank in her seat. Michael evaded my eyes, staring downward as specialists outlined the agent's deadly potentials. Dr. Harlan's evidence hit hard, charting dosage rises over time, proving harm intent. A lab rep affirmed Michael pilfered via a school pal in research. The accused displayed deliberate conduct. The prosecutor summed, not mere rivalry sabotage, a sustained bid to injure Ms. Vaughn, escalating to possible fatality. Verdict day brought no triumph, just release, both convicted on counts like assault, intent, and plotting. The bench's decree ran, these calculated deeds against kin over time merit full penalty. I observed their cuffed exit, musing how envy and avarice warp trusted souls into strangers. Their ventures, standing, liberty, squandered to ruin me. 2 years post-hearing, I addressed the Atlanta Commerce Summit from the stage, delivering the main talk. The twist amused me. This was the platform Sophia sought to block. Achievement isn't mere skill or toil. I opened surveying attendees. It's integrity, forging true bonds on reliability. I halted, words resonating. Often, gravest hurdles stem from intimates, but overcoming fortifies. Post talk. Aspiring pros sought guidance. One eager lady queried my poise amid chaos. I managed controllables. I shared. Collected proof. Heated gut. Let no fear halt aims. That night, a Whitaker renewal email for 4 years arrived. I grinned. pondering alternate fates sans that brunch instinct. A brief news piece noted Michael and Sophia's incarceration start. I skipped it. Eyeing my fresh deal outline, knowing top reprisal is advancing and thriving against obstructors.